Hey, good morning, everyone. I just asked Sports and Fitness Rants a stupid question. I asked him if he was ready to roll. What do you think his answer was?
They know what the answer was because your boy Sports and Fitness Rants back with AOH, another rant, and this time we're bringing it on Sunday. And you know I'm ready because I'm always ready, man. I hope everybody that's coming in is ready to go today, man, because we're going to have a great one. So, like I said, man, shout out to everybody that's going to be coming in, and shout out to my man AOH once again, man.
Look at me fucking up with YouTube on in the background. Um, 18 people. All right. Well, Dart, wherever you are, we hope you're okay. But this is great because I needed to really get out some frustrations. I was on a road trip. Didn't get to watch those games live. Have watched them now and broke them down, but everything I'm putting out is getting blocked. But, because I was on a road trip, I was listening to more content creators than usual to pass the time. And I mistakenly allowed ESPN to get in my ear and The Odd Couple. And my God, I was reminded of how LeBron fans get this shit into their heads. It's being fed to them. I mean, these people just lie unabashedly. It's really kind of astonishing. And I was just looking at a few more, some of LeBron's wonderful assists. I kid you not, Anthony Davis dribbled 7 times after LeBron passed him the ball on one of these, and it's listed as an assist. And some of his defensive rebounds were because he threw the ball away and the other team missed the easy opportunity. So LeBron was standing right there where he had just finished throwing the ball away to get the rebound. But hey, everybody, triple double. Hey, everybody, triple double in a loss. Again, check his stats. Don't watch the game. Check the stats.
I mean, listen, like you said, there's a lot of things that we can cover that we're going to cover today. So, like I said, everyone coming in, shout out to everybody coming into the room already. I see you guys in the chat. And one of the things that, we're definitely going to talk about is, once again, the stats and how we usually will highlight, these things in the video footage that you present, and how these numbers are often fraudulent and they don't tell the story at all when it comes to LeBron James, especially over the last 6 or 7 years. So you mentioned the triple doubles and numbers that he's getting. But then when we talk about the plus minus, and then you realize that the Lakers are 12 and 11 right now, despite LeBron James being a negative 100 and whatever the hell he is, whatever it is now, whatever that number is now, we know it's a negative 100 and whatever it is. And they're still, once again, winning these games. They're both 500 by one game. They're a mediocre basketball team. But once again, it's despite LeBron James. So he's out there playing 35 minutes a game and ain't doing a damn thing out there because they're negative 100.
It is despite LeBron James, but you wouldn't know that by listening to ESPN. I just can't believe it's really upsetting that these guys are paid to explain what happens in games to people who tune in, and they refuse to do that. I mean, their job is to deceive people. It really bothers me that that's just accepted now. You got all these people who have changed from being actual sports analysts to simply carrying on a narrative. I mean, do you understand why that bothers me to my core? That it's not just that it's the promoting of a fake GOAT, but just that that's just the way it is now. People lie and there's no problem.
Yep. But let me tell you something, though. There is hope. There's a silver lining here. I see some people in the chat talking about my Michael Jordan jersey that I'm wearing right now, the black Chicago Bulls jersey. And I see people shouting me out. And much respect to you guys out there, man. My man Callie Young. And I see other people shouting me out. There's a reason why I'm wearing this jersey today. This is not my jersey. You know where this jersey came from? This jersey came from my daughter, because the last night my daughter went to a bar mitzvah. All right. So what happened was, she came back from the bar mitzvah, as a parent, I was staying up waiting for my daughter to come home. She came home real late. And when she came home, she was wearing this Michael Jordan jersey. And I asked her about it. And she said that she won this Michael Jordan jersey at that bar mitzvah. And I found it very interesting that of all the basketball players that they could have chosen from, that they could have had out there, they had Michael Jordan jersey. Now, if you guys don't know, my daughter's 13 years old, so no, she never saw Michael Jordan play basketball live, none of these kinds of things. But the people, the kids her age, they knew about Michael Jordan. But I want to take it one step further. Not only did they have the Michael Jordan jersey that she won that I'm wearing today to represent how much Michael Jordan means to the game, right? I want you guys to understand this, man, that there was also a Kobe Bryant jersey there, right? And the Kobe Bryant jersey was something that they traded for. So she had a choice between the Kobe Bryant jersey and the Michael Jordan jersey. There was no LeBron James jerseys in sight, man. There was nothing or anybody worried about getting the LeBron James jersey or swapping the Kobe Bryant jersey for the Michael Jordan jersey. None of these kinds of things, man.
Good story. I guess there's hope.
A little bit of hope.
I was looking at the stats from the game after I heard ESPN talking about LeBron needing more help. And I just want to share something. And by the way, I'm sorry, everyone, that the video got blocked. I worked all night last night to break down the entire game, and sure enough, it's blocked. But a little bit of what's in that video that you didn't get to see. So LeBron and Anthony Davis had big numbers, and I just want to tell you what the bench contributed. 14, 12, 12, 9, 8. You know, you got 3 more people in the double digits, and their shooting percentages. Rui Hachimura shot 83%. Dalton was 54%. Gabe was 45%. Max Christie was 50%. So what are they talking about when they pretend that LeBron isn't getting help? Let me finish this thought, because if we look at Dalton Connect, who had 11 field goal attempts, and we compare that to Anthony Davis having 27 field goal attempts. Well, how many more points would Dalton have had if he had shot 26 more times? I mean, 16 more times. You've got the potential of 16 times 2 being another 32 points, but Dalton is a sniper from 3. So really you have to multiply that by 3. That's a potential 48 more points on top of the 14. Now you got to say he's not going to make all of them. So what was he shooting that night? He was shooting 50%. Cut that in half. Cut the 48 in half. That's an additional 24. Add it to his existing 14. You've got Dalton Connect giving you 38. Okay. How can you judge the Lakers bench when they don't get to take the shots? And Rui Hachimura was killing it percentage-wise from 3. Why isn't LeBron James taking the shot at the end of the game? I mean, that's why he lost. LeBron James is the reason that they lost. As much as people want to get excited that he had a better game than his usually dismal games, LeBron James is the reason that the Lakers lost. Take it.
And this is the inconsistent nature that we're talking about, that we always talk about, man, is the inconsistencies of LeBron James, man. That's Listen, you go, what was he, 0 for 20? The man was shooting 4% over the previous 4 or 5 games from three-point range. Then all of a sudden you're 6 for 11. Oh, LeBron James, he's out of his slump now. LeBron James was, no, look, listen, I love when the reporters will ask LeBron James after the game, oh, you seem to be a little bit off over the last couple of games. A little bit off? When's he ever on? He's never on. LeBron James is not a shooter. Let's understand this. So he was never on as far as shooting the basketball goes. This is a man that's never shot above 80% or 80% from the free throw line ever in his career. He's never even sniffed this. This is a guy who's constantly airballing free throws where no one's guarding you. You're standing there by yourself, and he still manages to airball these things with regularity. That's consistently that he's doing this. So one of the things that we have to also mention when we talk about LeBron James and the shooting aspect and the things that he does to his teammates, when you mentioned Dalton Connect and the lack of shots going around to the teammates and how he always goofs up the team and why the team is always inconsistent. These guys never know how many shots they're getting from game to game. They never know how LeBron James is going to approach the game from game to game. Is LeBron James going to shoot 28 times? Is LeBron James going to shoot 18 times? You know what he's going to do. Is LeBron James going to go for the assist that night and try to rack up assists and stand there and dribble the hell out of the basketball and have everyone standing around waiting for him to make a move? You never know how he's going to play. But the one thing that we know for certain is LeBron James is going to take bad shots. And one of the things that he does that's really bad, when we talk about guys and they'll say that Michael Jordan was the guy who shot the ball a lot and Kobe Bryant shot the ball and this guy shot the ball. One of the things that those players rarely did, and as it relates to Michael Jordan, you really never seen him do these kinds of things that LeBron James does with regularity that really messes up your team's consistency and the team's, connection, right? Their chemistry is LeBron James will come down and not pass the ball to anybody and just chuck up a shot. He'll do that oftentimes. No one else will touch the basketball, and he'll just dribble down the court and chuck up a shot. That does hell for your offensive chemistry. That does hell for your teammates. No one even touched the ball once. Some of the things that people don't talk about when Michael Jordan was in his first couple of years in the league, when they try to label him a guy who was shot chucking, and they'll say, oh, you're never going to win being a scorer. That's what Michael Jordan was hearing a lot, right? He was just a guy who went there and scored. If you watch a lot of the early film, the first 2-3 years of Michael Jordan in the NBA, the one thing that you'll see is oftentimes, number one, Michael Jordan got the ball with the shot clock running low, so he had to take a lot of these bad shots with 3 seconds on the shot clock. But why was Michael Jordan getting the ball with 3 seconds on the shot clock? Because Michael Jordan would come down the court oftentimes, and everybody would touch the basketball at least one time. But what happens is that no one was able to score or create their own shots oftentimes, and the ball ended up back into Michael Jordan's hands with 4 or 5 seconds left on the shot clock, and Michael Jordan's forced to heave up a shot. That's one thing that you'll notice if you watch the game, if you know about Michael Jordan. What you see LeBron James do over the last several seasons is him come down the court like you illustrated in your video footage with the galloping noises and LeBron James. That's him just coming down the court and no one else touching the basketball, and he's just chucking up a shot. That's not going to get it done.
And his nice, relaxed slow down. He just picks up the ball and then takes 3 more steps to get into position.
Gallops into shooting position.
And still nobody's guarding him.
And this is why you are the czar of the video footage, because you're highlighting perfectly what I'm explaining, coming down the court like a goof and just chucking up a shot that you're not a three-point shooter. When you guys think about it, LeBron James just passed Kyle Korver for three-pointers attempted in his career. Are you kidding me? LeBron James is going to be he's going to end up being like number 3 all time in three-pointers attempted in the history of the NBA. Why the hell is this man shooting threes when he can't even shoot free throws?
Somebody in the comments is talking about the great footage of LeBron load managing on the court. Hey, the TNT Overtime app is quite a gift. If you haven't figured it out yet, anytime that there's a TNT game, if you go to the NBA website, and you can do this for free, you can watch the TNT Overtime app. Unfortunately, they're not showing very many this year. So I was really hoping to record a bunch of those, but I don't think the next one is until January that there's a TNT overtime game that I can record of the Lakers. But
I mean, the Lakers are not box office. Let's be real here, man. They're not. They would be if you didn't have to tolerate 35 minutes of LeBron James on the basketball court. If LeBron James was maybe only on the court 15, 20 minutes a game, which he should, then maybe you can watch the Lakers game. When you can't, every other play is what you highlight. LeBron James arguing with the referees in such a manner that it's cringeworthy. It's disgusting.
Better take a look at this super chat. Where'd it go? Trying to put it up on the screen and it disappeared.
Yo, much respect to super chats.
God damn it. I need a personal assistant. I can see it in our overlay, but over on the side where I'm trying to highlight it, it's gone. Anyway, let me try and read it here. Can you read it? Read it for me.
Okay, let me see here. There's a new propaganda push in comments and videos recently. It goes, Jokic is a stat patter because when LeBron did it, everyone's saying he's padding. Okay. So I guess they're making the comparison between Nikola Jokic and LeBron James and the stat padding versus LeBron and Nikola Jokic.
Well, the simplest way to explain the difference between them is, hello, Meg, by the way. The simplest explanation between those is that the Nuggets are absolutely effed when Jokic isn't on the floor, and the Lakers go on a scoring run when LeBron isn't on the floor. I mean, you can talk about stat padding all day and night if you want to. When Jokic is getting his numbers it usually means good things for the Nuggets. Now, that team is so depleted that even the monster game like he just had isn't enough. The NBA is so confusing. What are the Wizards doing beating the Nuggets? But this is normal. You never know who's gonna fucking beat who. It just doesn't make any sense. A bottom team is going to beat a top team, and they're not just going to beat them; they're going to beat them by like 30 on some nights, and you're just left wondering.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're talking about the Nikola Jokic and LeBron James and the triple doubles, let's say, for example, or the stats, and people saying that he's stat padding. Now, I've seen some people going at Nikola Jokic. Me myself, I was thinking about doing a video today about Nikola Jokic. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow, the day after that, whatever the case may be. But when Scab, when we do these Sunday shows with Scab, and we all know that Scab gets a little crazy with Nikola Jokic, the same way that he gets with Kobe Bryant, he gets a little, hyperbolic, as what I always say. Because some of the comments that he makes, it don't add up, and it's not, what I'm saying, it's not living in reality, so to speak, right? The thing about Nikola Jokic that I always give him, over LeBron James, let's say, would be when we talk about stat padding. When you say that LeBron James is doing that, we're giving you examples. We're highlighting and letting you know when he's doing this. There's clear examples of this. When your team is down by 20 plus points in the fourth quarter and you're in the game playing against the second unit, that's stat padding. There's no reason for you to be in the game, especially at this point in time in your career. They always talk about LeBron James and his age and how he should be managing XYZ. Then why is LeBron James in the game with the Lakers down by 20 or the Lakers up by 20 and he's playing against the second unit? That is the damn, like, I can't explain it or break it down to you even more precise than that or clearly than that. That is literally stat padding. There's no reason for LeBron to be in there. I mean, listen, the man had a triple-double the other night, right? And he had 6 points going into the fourth quarter. The Lakers were up by 20 plus points, right? They were up by 20 plus points against the San Antonio Spurs, I believe it was, going into the fourth quarter when LeBron James had 6 points. So what is that highlight? What is that showing you? That the Lakers were doing just fine with LeBron James only scoring 6 points. They still managed to build a 20-plus point lead. So why is LeBron James coming in the fourth quarter? LeBron James played 10 minutes of the fourth quarter so he get that triple-double so he can keep his 10-point streak going. That is called stat padding. There was no reason for you to be in the game at 39, 40 years old when your team is coasting to a win, but you had to feel the need to go back in that game for what? For stat padding, literally there. Nikola Jokic doesn't do those kinds of things.
And, in addition to everything that you just said, the absurdity of him being in there, because I don't think I released it. I think I was recording while I was driving. But like in a blowout like that, Michael Jordan would have been taken out at halftime. He'd be on the bench at halftime, third quarter max. But now we have these, he might be injured, he's sort of injured, shit happening. Well, then don't be in the game in a blowout.
Thank you, AOH. Exactly. Why are you in the game? It don't make no sense. It's like Joel Embiid. You play in the Olympics, but you can't play in the NBA season when you're getting paid millions to do it. Hey, you guys don't make no sense.
I just start laughing because I get so flabbergasted that there's actually people out there that this has to be explained to. Like, we shouldn't be having to have this conversation. I feel dumb having this conversation. We're explaining things that are blatantly obvious.
Right.
If I wasn't negotiating $1 million deals right now, I'd call in to tell you how equally unattractive both of you are. Sports and Fitness Rants is cool though. Good day. Wow. Steam Engine is willing to pay money just to say something mean. I know how good I look. You can never hurt me.
At first, I didn't know who that was. I was like, this comment is hilarious, man. And then I'm like, oh, of course, there it goes. My man Steam, man. Shout out to Steam Engine. Oh, man, that's funny.
Oh, Speem. I'm not LeBron James. You can't get me in my feelings.
I used to be good looking, man. Back when I was in like my prime, man. A long time ago.
Well, we'll pretend that we believe that. I'm sure you looked great. The Sandman Morrison says for 5 USD in the Timberwolves game, over 173 point attempts. I mean, what the F? You know what? That gives me a chance to respond to another comment that someone left a while back when I was making fun of. I put out a video and it showed that it was a long rebound off of a 3, barely gets passed across half court, another 3, miss. And I'm like this is basketball now. And somebody in the comments said, well, you can't tell me that you actually want to watch that slow big man in the paint type of stuff that they used to do. And I can't tell when people are kidding. Like LeBron fans say things that are so dumb. I can't tell if it's one of my fans being sarcastic or if it's someone legitimately saying that, because I absolutely love the game in the paint. I'm not big enough to play in the paint, but I play in the paint anyway. I just like it. I play post. So I have a personal appreciation for the chess match, if you will, of feeling what the defender's doing and delivering something different to them the next time, just when you get them thinking that you're going to keep doing the same thing, etc. It was fun to watch. What are you guys talking about? It's not fun to watch. And the big men could pass too. Let's say that they actually play excellent defense on your center, and then he passes out to the guy that he's supposed to pass out to. It goes back to what you've talked about on your show a lot of time. You're supposed to have role players. You're supposed to have people with roles. That way, when your center, who's acting like a center, gets double or triple teamed, he can pass it to the guy whose role it is to make the open jumper. That's basketball, people.
Yo, shout out to Uncut Hoops, man. He said Celtics last night took 63s and refused to adapt. So frustrating. See, this is what you were talking about. This is what we're alluding to. You know, you can literally, you can flip on a game, right? There could be 4 or 5 games on. You could have NBA League Pass, let's say, for example, and you flip around to a different game. And what you'll notice is that as soon as you turn the game on and you sit there and start watching it, is like you mentioned, one team comes down, they shoot a 3-point shot. The next team comes down off a long rebound and they chuck up a 3-point shot. A long rebound, then the next team comes right back down. And what will happen is that the teams will start to get an open layup. Things will open up on the inside because they're shooting these shots. But instead of taking the open layups, they'll kick it out for a 3. It doesn't make any sense. You'll see a guy come down for an open layup attempt, right? Or maybe a slightly contested layup, and he'll throw it all the way out to a guy for a contested 3-point shot. So, like you mentioned, it's hard for you to follow the game, stay with the game, so you end up clicking off the game. You end up going to another game. But the problem is when you go to that other game hoping to see something different, you don't see something different. You see the same thing. And that's the problem. It's more of the same. When we're talking about the way the game was, when you talk about the paint play and, the post games, what that's talking or what that's leading to or what that's highlighting is the balance of the game that we enjoyed as fans. That's why you can enjoy the game, because there were different aspects of the game that were being highlighted at any given night. So if you turned on one game and you watched the Utah Jazz play, what you're going to get is the execution, the precision of the pick and roll with John Stockton and Karl Malone. That's what you're going to get, a well-executed team. But if you turn on maybe, let's say, the Denver Nuggets game, the Denver Nuggets are going to be what? Up and down. They're going to be that team that's going to be out there getting out on the break. They're going to be moving it around. That's how a lot of teams were. They were the West Coast teams. They go up and down the court, man. Different teams had different play styles, man. That's what made the that's what made the game so fun back then.
Yeah, the different playing styles were fun, but seeing adaptation is fun too. Like Uncut said, they wouldn't adjust. Come on. Why? What the fuck do you have a coach for? What do you have a bench for if you're not going to make any adjustments? Super chat from Story Games 499. Who is going to be the scapegoat this year? Redick, Bronny, AD, the minimum guys. The ESPN's going to attempt to scapegoat all of them, but we can already see that LeBron is going to try to defend JJ for at least a little bit longer with his childish responses to the press who are doing their jobs. Do you not get sick, even you LeBron fans, do you not get sick of seeing LeBron James behave like a child in the post-game press conferences? Can you stand there like a man and answer a question like a man once? I mean, it's whiny, it's condescending. JJ and LeBron are great together with the condescending attitudes, but he's not even correct in their fair questions. Like, don't ask me that.
I think that Story Games brings up a good point when you talk about the blame game, because we know someone's going to take the blame, and that's the main thing here, that someone's going to take the blame. It's never going to be LeBron James. And that's why I laugh when they talk about accountability, JJ Redick, and the way that you talk about he answers these questions.
Oh, I grabbed a soundbite from Kendrick Perkins that I put in the video that got blocked. But he said, everybody remember this, because when they try to rewrite history again and pretend that this wasn't all LeBron's doing, which they will, they're going to pretend that it wasn't LeBron's doing. Kendrick said JJ was LeBron's hire and that Darvin was LeBron's fire. You know, his own team, ESPN, said that. Now, I say rewriting history because you remember Westbrook unquestionably was LeBron James's doing. They actually tried to get rid of that narrative. They actually tried to pretend that they didn't. ESPN starts talking about, yeah, we don't understand what the Lakers were doing bringing in Westbrook. Yes, you do. You know exactly how it happened. But so my point is, JJ and LeBron are tied together. So if JJ gets crapped on, it reflects poorly on LeBron James. So he's going to try to keep JJ from taking the blame for a while, I think.
I mean, this whole thing, I said before this season started on my channel, I told everybody, this season, for the first time ever, LeBron James is in a lose situation. Every other year, he was in a win-win situation. You know, they didn't get it done. It was someone else's fault. The Lakers win. It's all LeBron James. But not this year, my friends, because now you have your podcast homie, your friend, JJ Redick, as your head coach. So, like Story Games mentioned, who's going to take the blame here? Not only that, but they drafted your son to the team, who's doing whatever the hell he's doing, right? So you have all these things going on. You have now a rookie in Dalton Connect, who's actually, LeBron James is actually going to have a monkey wrench thrown in here, because if Dalton Connect by some miracle wins the Rookie of the Year somehow, then there's really going to be no reason, no more excuses that we want to hear with how the Lakers didn't have any help, or, you know, whatever the case may be. But this season, if LeBron James is still ranked ahead of Anthony Davis, and according to Kane and Jet Smith, LeBron James is the second best player in the league still. The second best player in the league is a negative 100 and whatever the hell he is. That's the second best player in the NBA right now. This is the product that they're putting out there. LeBron James is number 2 best player in the league. So you're in a lose-lose situation, my man. Whenever LeBron James has quote-unquote played good stat-wise, the Lakers have done nothing. You're negative 111. So your stats have amount to nothing. When we talk about Anthony Davis, and I see some people in the comment section saying that Anthony Davis needs to take some blame and Anthony Davis this and that. Yes, Anthony Davis needs to take some blame as opposed to being on the team and supposedly being one of the best players. But the problem has been what for Anthony Davis? You're playing with LeBron James. How great can Anthony Davis be when you're playing with LeBron James? So the LeBron James fans don't seem to understand that the blame that goes on Anthony Davis has always going to be in the result of playing with LeBron James. You mentioned earlier, A-Ways, the shots taken by LeBron James, they're coming away from guys like Dalton Connect and Rui Hachimura and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis should be averaging 20, 22 shots a game easily, but he's averaging what, 17, 18 shots a game? Because LeBron James is averaging what, 16, 17 damn shots a game.
Speaking of what Anthony Davis can do, I mean, I'm not going to pretend that Anthony Davis isn't weak mentally. The fact that he was willing to play with LeBron James shows that somewhere deep inside he's weak mentally. But that's why if you have a Anthony Davis with a weak mentality like a Scottie Pippen, then you need a Michael Jordan to bring out the best in you. LeBron James has LeBron James brought out the best of anyone in 22 years? No, we're still watching players going to other teams after getting out of the LeBron tar pit and excelling and doing well. And yet here we are hearing the Laker people complain that they don't have the right people. Well, apparently you're never going to have the right people if you want to continue down never holding LeBron James accountable. What was I saying at the beginning of this though? Anthony Davis. Also, not only would Dalton Connect and those guys have more points by taking more shots, but they would have more assists, because about 50% of LeBron's assists that I was watching in the NBA advanced stats were from simply being able to throw the ball to Anthony Davis and then Anthony Davis taking care of the rest. Well, that's what happens when LeBron isn't in the game too. The other players throw the ball to Anthony Davis. There you go, an assist. Now let those guys have the ball as many minutes as LeBron James does and give the ball to Anthony Davis, and now their assists are going to go up. I'm just saying Anthony Davis can do some real damage when it's one of his nights. And he has some pretty good moves, and he has some nice touch on his shot. Well, when you've got someone like that to throw the ball to, God, you'd hope that your assist would be high. And when the other assists are when the guy you threw the ball to takes 7 fucking dribbles and a few of his own moves and gets to the rim, and that still counted as an assist. And didn't he still just barely break the double-digit marker? What do you have, 11? 11 assists and 10 rebounds?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to have to do a whole video on this because he did not, according to the plays that they showed in NBA Advanced Stats, those should not have been counted. Some of those should not have been counted. He would not have broken double digits in either category. They are literally lying about what he's doing in order to continue the triple double streak, or just keep accumulating triple doubles in his career. But once again, apparently we as a society are quite comfortable with lies and people on TV being paid to lie to us. I'm getting depressed. Take it. Charge us up here.
No, I mean, listen, like we mentioned, there are so many different ways that we can go down here when we're talking about highlighting the things that LeBron James is doing to be a detriment to his team that caused them to be inconsistent. Look at right now, they're in the 10th seed. Why the hell are the Los Angeles Lakers in the 10th seed when they have the second best player in the league, LeBron James, and you have an MVP candidate player in Anthony Davis? You have Dalton Connect, who's an emerging rookie. You have Rui Hachimura, who's a serviceable veteran in this league. You have guys like D'Angelo Russell coming off the bench, right? You have guys like Dalton Connect, like Austin Reeves. You have a team, you have J.J. Redick, who coming into this season, they were telling us was a savant of basketball. You see, what happens is when you pump these guys up into a realm that they don't belong, all of a sudden you have a long way to fall from, right? They're falling very far from that perch that they put them up on. There was no way in hell J.J. Redick should have been receiving the praise that he was getting with the Los Angeles Lakers starting the season out 3-0. There's no way. But why were they 3-0? The Lakers, everyone should understand, the Lakers were the only team this season to open up the season with 3 home games. No other team opened up with 3 home games. Only the Lakers did, man. So the 3-0 home start was nothing special. Who did they beat? They beat no one. Let's talk about the free throw differential through those first couple of weeks of the season. Are you kidding me right now? So once again, these are the things that we're alluding to. When we talk about LeBron James playing in the system, when you talk about Anthony Davis, and someone in the comment sections mentioned this, Anthony Davis' trajectory during the first 2 weeks of the season was MVP caliber. He was leading the league in scoring. He was one of the top 5 rebounds in the league. He's one of the top defensive players in the league. But what happened? LeBron James started to hear all of this, started to see all this, and then all of a sudden he had to start stat padding, and that took away, like you mentioned, it took away from Anthony Davis and the consistency, which is what he was playing. So now over the last 6-7 games, what have you noticed about Anthony Davis? He's been inconsistent. He's been the way that we were accustomed to seeing him play with LeBron James over the last 3 or 4 seasons before this, because this is the way LeBron James forces his teammates to play.
Super chat from Thanos Snap Feminism. Thank you, sir. Or maybe this went to Robin, since this is on his channel too. Good to see you monetize sports and fitness. I hate that the media uses age with LeBron when he's paid $51 million. His current plus minus is negative 129. Is it all the way down to negative 129 now?
Yeah, he was +3 the other night, I think, on that loss to the Hawks. I believe he was a +3.
And was it uncut, or was it Scap exposing the on-off numbers of how good the Lakers are when he's not on the court? Man,
that was uncut. Yeah, my man, uncut. He always breaks it down, man. He came with the facts.
He does. You could do entire. One of these days when I get, I'm just gonna start doing reaction videos. I've got 3 years worth of doing reaction videos to uncut alone.
For real.
And hey, if Commissioner Dynamo is watching, I don't think he watches my channel, but man, we need your creativity. You need to do a duet between JJ Redick and his post-game interviews and Kendrick Perkins making all of his guttural animal noises when he's on ESPN. Because JJ Redick is just an absolute fucking disaster. He seems like he can't talk. And I don't listen to these, except that I hear it from other content creators, and they put these sound bites up. Just mouth smacking and pausing and ums and other noises, followed by a preposition. Like, even with that gap, he still doesn't say anything. he just gets to another pause before he gets to something else. JJ, no one's asking you to solve world peace. You were at the game. Give the answer to the question that was asked of you. Who the fuck do you think you are wasting our time with these? Well,
You see what you're getting there. Go ahead, LH.
No, I'm done.
No, I was just saying, what you're getting there is the look and the confusion from a man who's used to giving smug, smart-ass answers, who's used to being witty and having a smart-ass answer for everybody. And that's why I noticed immediately from JJ Redick, when he first came onto ESPN after he stopped playing basketball, one of the things I immediately noticed was the way that he interacted with his contemporaries and how he, was so smug and arrogant and acted as if he knew everything and that he was smarter than everyone else around him, man. It didn't matter if it was Mad Dog Russo, if it was Stephen A. Smith, whoever it was, he was smug. And that's why I knows about him on his podcast. And that's what you're seeing right now, the result of a man who has no answers. He has nothing to say now. So like you said, how come you can't just shut your mouth and give an answer, JJ? He's always trying to think of something smart to say or a way to make it seem as if, he's really thinking hard. And he's, so smart that he's got to think for the right answer because he's a savant at basketball. And he's so confused because he doesn't know what's going on right now. And he starts talking about things like accountability when he doesn't have a slight damn clue what accountability looks like, what it means. He does have no idea. There's no one on that team that knows what accountability looks like. Maybe Dalton can connect us. Maybe he can help some of these fools out because someone like JJ Redick, he's never been held accountable for a damn thing in his life, man. Not a damn thing.
Well, Dalton is young and impressionable, so I have a bad feeling that I have a feeling that this is going to hurt his career in the long run, being in the presence of LeBron James and LeBron James's attitude. What does this say? Oh, they also understate his turnovers. Yeah, mm-hmm. I heard. I mean, my God, his turnovers are just devastating, and they look so bad. And then he quits. And I heard James Worthy talk about Anthony Davis's pass at the end of that, towards the end of that Hawks game. And yeah, it was not a great pass, the one that got stolen. But why haven't you mentioned any of LeBron's passes? Like the picking and choosing of when you suddenly are aware that there's bad passing taking place out there exposes that these guys aren't allowed to say bad things about LeBron James. Obviously, you are watching James Worthy. And it's so sad that I have to include James Worthy in the list of these people who get paid to not tell the truth. A lot of these people I never really expected very much from. They're pretty disgusting. I'll say
you brought that pass, and I talked about that in one of my videos. And what I said was, I was watching that happen, and what it looked like to me, watching the game as someone who I'm being objective here, I'm being honest about this. As bad as the pass may have been, it was also mostly or partly on LeBron James not giving an effort to even try to get that pass. He did not keep Dyson Daniels away from that passing lane at all, man. He made a nonchalant effort. This is why LeBron James felt the need to do that chase down block, because he felt partly culpable for not and causing that turnover. Yes, it was a lackadaisical pass by Anthony Davis, but it was also a lackadaisical effort to receive the pass on the part of LeBron James, man. So they were both at blame on that turnover, and that's why LeBron James felt the need to run down and chase that block down. But, when we think about what happened after that with the inbounds play, this goes to JJ Redick, man. And JJ Redick looks like he's been coaching the Lakers for 10 seasons, man. He looks like hell out there.
Yeah, believe it or not, I said the same thing in the video that got blocked, so I can't show you the proof. But I thought, can't LeBron help? It's the end of the game. The game is on the line. Aren't you motivated to try to make sure that the pass is successful instead of just comfortably sitting there and saying, well, if you don't make the best pass, then we're just going to blame you? Do you want to win? If you want to win, do something on your end to make sure that the pass is successful. Do a stutter step and shake a little space off of the guy and get open for the fucking pass instead of just standing there like a lazy bum. And then another lazy bum. We're not passing it. I don't know. I don't know if I want to call Anthony Davis a lazy bum. He plays both ends of the court. He's a monster on defense and on offense. And I know he has his flaws, but you want to talk about effort. I don't think you can put, you can't put LeBron James anywhere near the category of effort that Anthony Davis puts in. Super
Anthony
chat.
Davis was an MVP caliber player, man.
I heard of Lakers trying to get Ingram back. Yeah, I heard it, but I don't know what to. I don't know
Really?
how. I don't know how seriously to take any of this crap that I hear.
See, but that's what we're talking about, man. This is the stuff, the nonsense that we're saying. Let's just say that. That's a great comment right there. Let's just say that's true, man. This is the same that listen, they had Brandon Ingram on the team. Why did you get rid of him? Because LeBron James doesn't want to develop guys. It's like Andrew Wiggins on the Cavaliers. You know the ironic thing about Andrew Wiggins and the scenario, the trade with Kevin Love, is that Andrew Wiggins probably would have helped the Cavaliers more in the 2016 finals, in the 2017 finals, the 2018 finals, because Andrew Wiggins was a more athletic, right, a wing player that would have helped them more so against the Golden State Warriors. What was the problem for Kevin Love against the Warriors in 2016? He was a liability out there. He had a problem being on the court. So guys like Richard Jefferson, they were playing in place of Kevin Love in that series because of the small lineups that the Warriors were playing with. When you have guys like Curry and Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala on the court with guys like Sean Livingston, there was no place for Kevin Love. So Andrew Wiggins probably would have been better on that team down the stretch. Develop him, make him a better player. LeBron James ain't going to do those kinds of things, man. So it's funny that they were trying to act. Now you want Brandon Ingram now, all these years later? After what? Now he's not in his prime? Like, what are we doing here?
The other rumor that you hear about, and goddamn Sports Center, or ESPN used it again, is that the Warriors want LeBron James. You remember that phone call? You remember that phone call? I need something more definitive than that. I've never heard which players were on the table. I've never heard a dollar amount. Don't you think a lot of phone calls happen in the league? Isn't there someone's job to constantly be making phone calls and see what can get accomplished? Okay, so if there was a phone call, that doesn't mean very much. Now, maybe I'm just praying that the Warriors aren't disgusting enough to actually entertain the idea of bringing in LeBron, which would be a really weird, self-destructive move. But I also want to just say that it might not even be true, or it might not be substantiated enough to keep getting quoted. But you know why they do quote it? It's in order to pretend that LeBron James is still great. Oh, well, if LeBron isn't great, then why are the Warriors interested in him? And they did the same thing with Bronny. Apparently, there's a rumor that the Warriors were interested in Bronny, or thought that Bronny was talented. Well, if you think that Bronny isn't good, why were the Warriors interested in him? Is Bronny good? Do we still hear any of those assholes trying to say that Bronny is good? I don't care what fucking fake narrative is out there. If someone's good, they're good. And if they're not good, they're not good. And let's move on to Uncut Hoops's comment. Whenever you get a break from work, the world needs Wizards Jordan. You guys know that I did this. You guys know I did this years ago. I should do it again. But LeBron had just turned 38. And so that was the oldest I had to work with. And I was using Michael Jordan, who was a few days away from turning 40. So it was 38 versus 39. And it was them playing the same team, the Charlotte Hornets. And I did it. It's side by side, guys. It's side by side. It's broken into like 3 parts because I did the entire both games. It's not comparable at all. And now you got assholes like Colin Coward saying that LeBron looks great at the end of his career and Jordan looked bad at the end of his career. Another asshole lying on television and being paid to lie. Michael Jordan going out with that last shot against the Utah Jazz. Yes, that is the storybook ending. Great. That does not mean that because the Wizards' years weren't storybook that Michael Jordan looked bad. Okay? And even if he had bad games, I confidently can tell you that you're not going to be able to pull up any Wizards game and show me Michael Jordan not giving effort. You're not going to show me Michael Jordan acting like LeBron James once, even on a bad knee, on a bad team. You're not going to show me that. And guess what? I prefer watching people give effort. If I lose, don't you like to lose going out the right way, even if I lost, that feels better than winning. That feels better than winning the wrong way, you know?
No, that's a great point, AOH. I mean, you're on the money with that. My daughter just tried out for the junior high basketball team, right? And she was all nervous, and it was like a 4-day trial, right? And she's actually waiting to find out if she made the team, whatever. But the one thing I told her is like, don't worry about how many points you make or how many shots you make or how many shots you don't make or any of those kinds of things, but just go out there and compete. That's how the coach is going to remember you. They're going to remember, like, damn, who was this girl that was running around everywhere, had her hands up, that was hustling, that was diving on the floor for the loose balls, you know what I'm saying? That was out there giving the team and galvanizing her teammates. That's what they're going to remember, man. So that's what I told you to worry about. And that's what you're talking about. You're talking about going out there competing, man. And that's what it was always about, man. When I played sports in high school, my team was garbage, man. We were the laughing stock of the county, man. Every time a team came in to play us, whether it was basketball or football, they knew they were going to crush us. We were the underdogs, man. Every single game, every single season I played, man, we got our asses whooped in a lot of those games, man. I'm talking about there were guys throwing alley-oop dunks on us, man, and we were getting beat down by 20, 30 points, man. They were embarrassing us, man. They had the third-string guys that never played. They played against us, though, because we were that team. But guess what, though? It didn't make a difference because every single night, they knew that we was going to give the effort, man. They knew I was going to go out there and give the effort, man. And like my coach always said, man, I was going to go out there like John Starks, man, and I was going to play with the Rex and abandon. That's what it was. I didn't give a damn if I lost by 1 or by 30, man. It didn't make a difference, man.
And even if you were a losing team, your coach would not tolerate you guys not trying out there, right? Or wouldn't he bench you guys if you started showing some bad attitude? Or did you have a bad coach?
No, like you said, man, these are the kinds of things that we talk about, sportsmanship and being a true competitor, man. That's what you coach. Like I said, I coach now, and that's what you're always talking about the kids, about being true competitors, man. And part of being a competitor and being an athlete is having sportsmanship.
Sandman, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, JJ Redick looks like something. I don't.
Yo, much respect to everybody coming through with the super chats, man. For real, you guys, like I said, you guys are truly humbling us, man. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And it's badly needed. Even the videos that I have managed to get out there, they're not monetized. YouTube is crapping on me hard. I guess I need to sell out like awful coaching and just never, ever criticize LeBron James ever again. Spam Engine, where are you getting this money? I know you're on the verge of being homeless. Don't send me these super chats. Do you want to call in, dude? Here, let me put that up there.
Oh, man, my man Speed, man. What you doing, Speed?
There's so much to talk about today. I'm a little bit afraid to open up the phone lines.
Yeah, we got to wait a little bit, I think. I think we got to keep ranting on for a little bit.
Oh, okay, you agree with me. Hey, this, I brought it up before, but what's with this idea that everybody deserves their chance at being the GOAT, and therefore you need to protect them from injuries? And is that why Ja Morant said he's not going to dunk anymore? It's like, oh, it's not worth the risk of an injury. Ja, what do you think we're going to watch you for then? Your goofy ass face? I mean, if you're not dunking, get the fuck out of here. The only thing worth watching of that clown is him dunking. And do people understand that there are tough breaks in life? How many fucking people in history could have won more championships if they hadn't broken their leg or done something like that? Part of being the GOAT means you were that special person who overcame injuries or didn't get injured and was excellent. Not everybody gets to be in the GOAT conversation or have their body preserved in order to maybe have a longer career. We're watching more of shit. You are extending the careers of people who are giving you less. Why would you ever support that? I'm done.
No, I mean, listen. Hold on a second. Yo, man, listen, sometimes when you get going, man, you really get me going, man. But listen, I don't even know where to begin sometimes with some of these things we're talking about, because it starts to become a crossover between sports and society. And this is what we talk about sometimes, man. Like, you could go down a rabbit hole with a lot of these things, man. When we talk about the way that these guys, and when John Morant says things like, I'm not going to dunk the basketball now, that was like Anthony Edwards saying, remember, I think last year or whatever, he said that, dunking hurts his hand. And now we see him shooting 11 threes a game. Like, this is where we're at now. 11 threes a game. What if Dominique Wilkins one day was like, you know what, guys, I don't want to dunk anymore. I'm going to stop dunking because I don't want to blow my Achilles out or I don't want to hurt my knee. What if Sean Kemp just said one day, you know what, I'm not dunking anymore. I'm Sean Kemp, even though I'm one of the most spectacular in-game dunkers in the history of the game. I'm going to stop dunking now because I don't want to hurt myself and I want to further my career. What if Michael Jordan had that approach in his mind and it was like, you know what, I'm never going to do the slam dunk contest ever. I'm not going to give you Air Jordan. I'm not going to give you all those posters. I'm not going to give you all those memories. I'm not going to give you all that. I'm just going to hang it up and be like, you know what? I don't want to hurt myself. I'm going to sit it out. Michael Jordan literally broke his foot and the man still did slam dunk contests.
Can I want to ask everybody watching to put in the comments, how many people can even relate to what I'm about to say? You wouldn't admit to something like dunking hurts your hand once upon a time. You don't say shit like that. I remember when I first started dunking, how it hurt my wrist. And I was going to be like, man, I don't really want to do this. I'm not going to go around telling anyone that. And by the way, I am lying. The only time I dunked was on a 9.5 foot rim. No, I dunked tennis balls. But I'm a 2 foot jumper that I can get rebounds, but I can't dunk. I don't know how to explain that one. Steam engine again. Steam engine. I know you can't afford this. The only reason LeBron hasn't written a letter to Ham is because he can't read or write. That's why he speaks in hashtags. Hashtag. Wow, you're really on it today, Steam Engine. Do you want to? We'll let you in for 3 minutes if you want to call, or maybe I'll just keep taking your money. He's my top donor. Thank you, Speam. If you ever get your live shows going, I can return the favor. You know, the shows that you keep telling me that you're going to do.
You know what's funny, man, is when you see a lot of the LeBron James fans, they like to cry and moan, and they'll say things like, all you guys do is talk about LeBron James because you guys hate LeBron James so much, but all you talk about is LeBron James. But the one thing that they don't want to mention, that they, like I said, they don't want to live in that reality, is that LeBron James has literally tore down the game that they're supposed to be a fan of, that we are fans of, basketball. This is why we talk about LeBron James, because it's not just LeBron James, it's what he's done to the game. So when we mention someone like John Morant saying something nonsensical like he said, when we talk about Anthony Edwards saying stupid like he said, when we talk about, or when we witness someone like Matt McClung winning the slam dunk contest, this is a result of LeBron James and the deterioration of the NBA All-Star Weekend. When LeBron James refused to do the slam dunk contest all those years ago, this is the result. This is what we're witnessing now. Now no one wants to do the slam dunk contest because, like you mentioned, everyone's scared to get hurt now. Everyone's worried about building their brand up, so they'll rather play 50 games or 60 games. Now they come with the minimum out. They'd rather play the minimum amount of games they could and still be able to, get their money, so to speak, man. But at the same time, they want to be mentioned with the guys who played in the other eras who were out there for less money, who gave more effort.
Charles H. with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Using LeBron logic for other players, if Iverson, Jokic, Giannis, Howard, etc. had prime 2A AD, Wade, Bosh, or Kyrie, just imagine. Yep. There just isn't really much value in the woulda, shoulda conversations that LeBron James likes to have. And you already ranted about him complaining about his team dealing with injuries. It's always like none of this happens to other people. Like, oh, woe is LeBron. How was I so cursed as to have people injured on my team? First of all, you guys have contusions. You have fucking bruises. You have soreness. So none of you are actually injured. Shut up. Secondly, every team, including the teams beating you, LeBron, are missing players.
Yep.
What?
That's the whole point, man. Like we said, you're not making the players around you better. Every single year that he continues to play, this becomes more and more evident. It's more and more evident, and that's what they're highlighting right there.
Is that true about awful coaching? Does he shy away from calling out LaFlop? I haven't seen him do it. I haven't watched his channel in a long time, but I know every single title is about someone else. But I do have a bunch of parodies of him that will be released someday. Just
Yeah, I see. I don't.
the over glorification of things such as what's happening, man? You got a wasp?
No, I thought I saw something fly by here, man.
That was LeBron James.
He's sending the troops.
His shot. No, that was his shot. He almost broke the fucking backboard.
Yeah.
Probably shaking your house all the way over in New York. Sandman with another one. Wilt is still the GOAT. Have not seen anyone come through that did it better. MJ is the closest. Yeah, I was while I was jogging this morning, I was thinking about how absurd it is to say that today's players are so incredibly talented. How do you know? Maybe they are, but how do you know? Because you're not playing the same game. So how are you measuring that? I mean, imagine me saying, here, I want you to play basketball now, except you can palm the ball, take 4 to 5 steps, and no one's going to guard you. Now see what you can do. I bet you a lot of people are going to look talented all of a sudden.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man, I like Will Chamberlain. I got him ranked in my top 10. Everyone knows I got much respect for Will Chamberlain. But Michael Jordan did more with less than Will Chamberlain. He did more in less time than Will Chamberlain. And like I said, man, Will Chamberlain, you can argue, is the greatest athlete to ever play in the NBA. And you can argue his dominance, statistically and those things. But once again, it's Michael Jordan, guys. You guys know the deal.
I hope that didn't sound like I was ripping on Wilt. No, I just fast forwarded to how ridiculous it is to call today's players but like why I thought about Wilt is that really crazy dunking, getting physical like that was frowned on back then. If Wilt you've got me concerned for you, buddy.
Don't worry, if you see me roll off the screen, I'm still here with you, man.
Insects won't kill you. Just hold still. He doesn't want anything to do with you. Gary says, rank these dynamic duos in order from best to worst. MJ and Pippen, Shaq and Kobe, AOH and SFR. I love you guys. Keep the same energy. Thank you for the support and the super
shout
chat.
to Gary. Yeah, thanks, Gary. Appreciate that, man.
Well, we haven't done enough to be in the running. I'm humble enough to know that we need to do this for years and actually have a serious some serious success to be in any sort of a conversation. Maybe someday when our schedules allow it. Because this is easy work. We don't have to prepare for this. We don't.
Listen, man, it's all thanks to everybody out there, man. Yo, you guys are coming through today, man. AOH has been reading off a lot of super chats, man. So thank you to all you guys out there that have come through with the super chats. I hope we haven't missed, any.
Yes, thank you. Thanos says there's no truth to LeBron going to Golden State. You can't have 250 million salaried players when the salary cap is 141. Yeah, I don't know. When it comes to LeBron, I feel like the league always finds a way to make things happen. And, like they'll veto some trades, but allow LeBron and AD to literally break rules in order to get what LeBron wants. I'll tell you this. Curry's still outselling LeBron's jerseys, and the Warriors are still making more money than the Lakers. So don't give me the excuses that the Warriors need a star or any of that crap. It's as stupid as the excuse that the storied Los Angeles Lakers needed LeBron James to be relevant. Come on.
Yeah, like I said, that's a terrible. That would be terrible for the NBA. It would be terrible for Steph Curry. It would be terrible for the Warriors. Like, it doesn't benefit LeBron James either. That's not good for LeBron James to go to the Warriors. But see, these are the things that we're talking about. When you talk about these rumors that are swirling around, you didn't have rumors about some of these other great players going to some other team like this, man, every single season. This is not every once in a while. Every couple of years, there's a rumor of LeBron James maybe going somewhere. This is every year. Oh, maybe LeBron James might go here. Or maybe the Lakers might get this team. Remember, they were trying to get Klay Thompson this offseason. They were trying to get all these guys, man. But nobody wanted to go play there with LeBron James.
It would be good for LeBron James in the same way that it was good for him to play with Steph in the Olympics. Steph carrying his sorry ass. It would be bad for Steph. It would be good for LeBron in terms of getting carried, because we all know that somehow LeBron will still get the credit. But yeah, it's gross. All you hear is people wanting to leave teams or not being motivated to come out and play. You never know. You never know who's going to play on a nightly basis, and you never know how the team's going to behave. Again, it's way, way too many of these 30-point blowouts. I mean, it's
Right.
regular. It's regular.
You know what's crazy? I was actually counting those throughout the first couple of weeks of the season, and I stopped. I should have kept going because the trend is continuing, like you mentioned, and you're getting a lot of these 30, 40-point wins. And it's worse than just the 30, 40-point blowouts. It's that these are coming like right after teams blow out another team. So we mentioned this before. You'll have one night where one team blows out a team, and then the very next night or the next game that they play, they get blown out. So it's not like they're blowing out teams every night because they're that good. They themselves are getting blown out.
Spam, I'm going to put the call-in link up. I just put it up. I'll give you an opening. He's usually not functioning very well for some reason or other, but he's typing. You're typing your ass off today. You must be able to call in. Did I miss any super chats from anybody? If so, I apologize. What else, man? What else happened this week that was disgusting?
Well,
did you say how many?
NBA has been discussing.
Yeah. Did you say how many blowouts you counted when you stopped?
No, well, the first couple of weeks, if I remember correctly, I want to say there were, I think, 4 games of 30 or more points that were 30 or more point blowouts. And I think, if I remember correctly, there were like 7 or 8 games that were 20 or more point blowouts in the first 2 weeks of the season. So, like I said, it was a trend. And if we look into it now, like I said, I'm sure that number's gone up because I think just last night there was a 40-point blowout loss.
Well, anyone else find it ironic that it had to be Steph Curry to finally help out Quincy Olivari?
Oh, man. It's
Isn't
crazy right now, man.
Isn't that sad that the Lakers are complaining about their bench and won't bring Quincy up? Oh, by the way, anybody help me out? I'm confused about this, and I didn't bother to Google it. Where did Christian Coloco or whatever his name come from, and the other guy on the bench? I don't remember these guys in the preseason. I don't remember them being part of that mix about who would be there or not. I just remember that they decided to get rid of Castleton, and now they've got this Coloco guy and won't bring Quincy up. How did that even happen? I don't know. I don't know what that was about. You don't either, I take it.
Me? No, I don't. I'm not up with a lot of this stuff.
Well, they were.
I didn't know. I thought they was on the team last year.
Coloco?
Any one of them dudes, man. The only guys that I thought that were new on the team were obviously the rookies and JJ Redick.
Yeah. Nobody want to call in?
That's all right. I mean, I guess they've done what they had to say through super chats, it seems like, man, because you read off. I don't know how many you read off today, man, but I don't think we've ever done a rant, show where we've had so many super chats and people ask so many questions.
Yeah, super chats kind of died off for several weeks there. But thanks, everybody.
Everyone's been, like I said, asking questions, man. So as I said, the problem right now also we've been dealing with is a lot of these injuries that's still been plaguing the NBA, man, and that's been a big problem. And now they've talking about making the NBA All-Star game a pickup game with like three teams or something like that. Or I don't know if you heard about that. They're talking about bringing a different approach now to the All-Star game once again. So this is more the same as what we're talking about, the gimmicks of the NBA right now.
Be nice with the $4.99 USD. If I'm looking to develop my game and maximize my skills, I'm praying they don't sacrifice me to surf flop a lot. Yeah, man.
Right. Exactly.
Spot on. Thank you for that super chat. Speam says that he's calling in. I don't see it. Are you hallucinating that you're calling in? Oh. That's not Speam Engine. Well, now I have to take the call. That's rude. Now I have to take the call. Willie.
A little disrespected now.
Oh, there's Speam. Willie, what did you want to comment on?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just want a quick question for you guys. Do you think that because I was talking to my brother about this, and I figured that they say these players today are so talented and stuff like that, and I look at it more so that they may seem that way because a lot of them just aren't good at their position, because we're in this positionless basketball era, right? And nobody's really good at their position, so everybody's all over the court, which will make people seem like they're more skilled. That was just a thought of mine. Any of you care to elaborate on that?
Yeah. Thank you, Willie. And we kind of already talked about that, but there's something I would add to that. Do people think that past players, if they were given permission to work on all aspects of their game, couldn't have developed that? I mean, these were talented people. It's kind of silly to think that only today's players can shoot and drive and make a three. Well, now that you're told that that's acceptable in basketball, everybody's a 3-point shooter. Of course. What do you have to say about it?
All right, well, listen, man, let me go a little deep here for a second here. So there's two things. And one thing that we have to think about is when we talk about the roles, we mentioned earlier the roles of the players back in the day and how important that is for the balance of the game. So, for example, when we talk about the NBA All-Star game, right, which is a big problem for a lot of us out there, when we talk about the NBA All-Star game for when I was growing up in the 80s and the 90s, the role of the point guards, because point guards actually played the point guard position, they played their roles. You had great point guards. The reason we had great all-star games, or one of the main reasons we had great all-star games, is because you had great point guard play in the all-star games. So what did that do? That got everyone else involved. When you have Magic Johnson running out there in the All-Star game, you have Isaiah Thomas out there on the East running the All-Star game, right? What that does is it allows everyone else in the All-Star game, it allows the game to have a flow. It has a balance because now they're feeding everyone out there and giving them the ball when they're comfortable in their roles. So when
Yep.
we talk about the roles and you talk about positionless basketball, one of the big problems is, like the guy was mentioning, that when they talk about skills, what are they often highlighting? The ability of these guys to shoot and dribble the basketball in positions that normally weren't supposed to be able to be shooters and dribblers. But when we talk about guys from back in the day, they could dribble and shoot. The thing about it was that was not their role to do it in such a manner as that they do it now. The problem being, though, these guys think they can shoot when they're not shooters. They think they can dribble when they're not dribblers. So what we get now is a goofed up version of NBA basketball where everyone's chucking threes, guys who are 7 feet tall, guys who are 6'2". No one has a post-up game. Everyone thinks they can dribble the ball, but what have they done? The second part to this is the standard has been lowered. And the standard I'm talking about is the officiating standard. So what they've done is they allowed these clowns, these goofballs, to dribble the ball all over the court when they can't dribble. They're carrying the ball all over the place. No one's calling it. So they think they're skilled. Oh, I can dribble the ball. I'm a 7-footer. They can't dribble like those guys back in the day. Are you kidding me? No, the guys back in the day were actually held to a higher standard. So once again, you're being officiated tighter. I saw Michael Jordan being called for travels in All-Star games. They called the man for traveling in an All-Star game. That's
Yep.
called a standard. That's you
And you,
holding the NBA players to a standard.
and you know what that travel was? It was like a stutter step. Or, you took a step half a second before the ball hit the floor. That's the type of traveling they called back then. Now these guys are just flopping all over the place, allowed to regain their balance and then flop a few more feet without call. Patrick Miller, thank you for the super chat. All-Star game should straight up be like street ball pickup games. 2 captains drafting live and self-reffing. What was ever wrong with the All-Star game? Adam Silver trying to come up with gimmicks. The players are what's wrong. And as long as you're inserting the players in this new tournament that he's doing, you're going to have the same problem because the players are the problem. 5-on-5 of the best guys in the league was a great formula. There wasn't anything wrong with that. The best of the best playing that sport. What are they going to do with the NFL? That's like saying that the NFL Pro Bowl needs to be changed in order to make up for those guys. Let's I'll put one more super chat up, but I want to let Speam Engine talk and then we'll go back to that super chat. Speam, Let's hear
Hey,
it.
good afternoon. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Oh,
Yo, what up, man?
you sound
Hey,
sober
what
and
up?
coherent.
Ha, funny guy. Funny guy. I was giving you the super chats. I figured you need the money a lot more than I do. So just say thank you, right?
I'm saying,
Um,
okay, if you're sitting pretty, then I will happily take it.
Appreciate that. Real, what up, sports and fitness? Real quick,
Good, man.
um, two things I want to call to attention to. The whole father time gimmick has been a built-in excuse since that stupid commercial with Aquaman in it.
Hmm.
It's got, it's a double-edged sword. That's where that whole he's 40, he's great. Oh wait, but he's 40, so this is why he's not good kind of thing started, and nobody's really picked up on that yet. Every time one of these goofballs says, "Oh, I took your word, goofball. I'm sorry, Robin." Anytime one of these guys says, "It's father time," blah blah blah, and it's like you can't see that they're manipulating you just with that phrase alone. It has a built-in excuse no matter what. It's like kind of saying like you're playing with house money, right? Um, the other thing I want to mention is I'm seeing a lot of, well, so what about Darvin Ham? Everybody gets fired. So what about Quincy Oliveri? Everybody loses the spot to somebody, blah, blah, blah. That's not what people are arguing. Yes, nepotism takes place every day. Cool. That doesn't mean it's right in this instance. Like when did that become an argument? When could we not use a pattern of behavior as evidence for why somebody might be a douchebag, right? The arguments are always turned into, well, it goes back to that he's a good father, right? You take the argument and you twist it to make yourself correct in what you're saying, but you're not arguing what I started out arguing. And that's been like I don't even know the word for that, but that's like the go-to LeBron or pro LeBron argument.
Well, everybody, all you need is an excuse nowadays. That's just kind of the way that it's become. Nobody wants to stand on morals or ethics or just be better than other people. They want to look and see, oh, look, something bad happened back in history, or this guy next to me did this, therefore I don't have to be better. And again, a lot of this nepotism, we're talking about office jobs, not people whose physical ability, they're not going to war on the basketball court against freakishly built professional athletes. That's another reason that it doesn't make any sense. And I just want to talk about LeBron's injuries. As long as we're talking about the father time thing, he's either actually out, or there's rumors that he might need to be out. And some LeBron fan commented, you saying that LeBron is injury prone is crazy. Is it? Is it? Because I have a long list from the last few years of different injuries. Some of them real, some of them fake. One way or another, he's out. But then I realized, wait a minute. Even when he's in and he has a bad game, you guys want to say it was because of an injury that he's dealing with. So don't tell me that he's not injury prone when you're going to use him playing with an injury as an excuse for his bad play. So he's always injured, apparently.
Well, he's injury excuse prone because he always has an injury excuse. There's always something built in, like you said. That's his problem. He always has something going on. He has to let you know he's dealing with ankle soreness or foot soreness, or he's battling an illness, or he's dealing with some trouble at home. Whatever the case may be, someone vandalized his house. That he had to lie about all this, and he has to let you know something. Something's going on in his life where someone like Michael Jordan, the true competitors, they didn't let you know these things, man. They just went out there and dealt with it, man, and they moved on with their lives.
How many people
everything
knew?
was a show.
How many people knew that Michael Jordan had a cracked rib thanks to World Meta Peace? I mean, I didn't ever know about that.
I didn't know that.
I never knew about that until recently, reading an article about it. Michael Jordan didn't let people know. Fucking, what's his name? Cracking Michael's ribs in the off season because he couldn't guard him. And then Michael at 40 years old trying to play through cracked ribs.
Well, speaking of injuries, why doesn't Steph get credit for coming back from like a catastrophic ankle injury.
Because the NBA didn't invest in stuff. They didn't choose.
It's wild.
Yeah. Sandman with another super chat. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. At the trade deadline, the Lakers need to trade LeBron and bring up Bronny to replace him. Then I would like a GoPro in the James home over Christmas dinner to listen to that. Yeah. Man, Bronny's so bad he may be worse than LeBron, but they're kind of similar.
Don't you hate on that young man?
Oh, right. Sorry. Criticizing.
Don't hate on that young black king.
All right. Well, I mean, I was only doing it because he's black.
Well, also, so I saw something that someone said he didn't actually have 16 points. I saw that in the chat. They only accounted for 14 points, but the NBA gave him 16. Bronny's highlight game, career game.
I'd believe it.
Yeah, you know what the funny thing about that is this is the can of worms that one of the media members opened up when he tried to come out some months back about Michael Jordan and his defensive stats. And, I counted how many steals he had in the game. He only had 3, but they said he had 5. And what he did was he opened up this whole thing now, right? A Pandora's box, so to speak. Now you want to start looking at numbers? You want to play that game? You want to start looking into stats? We want to go down that hole? And you're going to expose LeBron James 10 times worse than Michael Jordan. Because once again, Michael Jordan was not known or marketed off of his stats. LeBron James is literally marketed off of his stats. Whenever they talk about LeBron James, what do they talk about? LeBron James, 27, 7, and 7. LeBron James went to 10 NBA finals. He went there. This is what they market LeBron James for, his numbers. The all-time leading points. LeBron James has over 10,000 rebounds, over 10,000 assists. They market him off of his numbers. Michael Jordan was marketed off his greatness. He was marketed off the Air Jordan, what he did on the court. That's not LeBron James, man.
No, it's not. Speed Engine, thanks for calling in. You got anything else for us?
No, again, congrats, Robin, for getting monetized. That's dope, if that's a recent thing.
No, it's not recently, but I was demonetized, and then I was back, monetized again a couple months ago. So, much respect, Speed. Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt. You guys enjoy the rest of your afternoon. AOH, I'm going to need most of that back, and I will talk to you guys later.
Get that live show going.
All right,
good, man.
Peace.
We're gonna talk about race all day long on his show once he launches it.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Oh, he's still here. No, there he's gone. All right. Well, I think we'll wrap it up. Let's end it strong. Unless you always obviously are welcome to drop something else.
No, I think you're right, AOH, man. It was a good show, man. Like I said, I really want to thank everybody out there in the comment section today, man. You guys really came through with the super chats. So much respect to all the true basketball fans that have been continuing to support our channels, that are continuing to stand up to the lies and the narratives, man. I saw someone in the comment section say that Michael Jordan was marketed off his stats. They're laughing at the things that I said. Michael Jordan was never marketed off his stats, my man. His name is Air Jordan. What does that got to do with stats? Air Jordan. He's marketed off what he did on the court. This is why Michael Jordan did the slam dunk contest. Remember, my man, he wasn't even there for a full second season. Only his second season, he was out. So where were the stats he was putting up? He was marketed off the on-court game. That's what people were there to see. The aerial display. It didn't matter how many 30, 40-point games he had. It was the way that he was getting those points. He was marketed off his game.
I really don't think these guys form their own thoughts. I mean, when someone says something that ridiculous, they probably heard Kendrick Perkins or a Nick Wright say something like that, and they're like, "Oh, good, I have some more ammo." Never an actual thought that they created, if they're capable of it. I mean, anyway, I'm just gonna be mean to LeBron fans if we stay on. Sports and Fitness, thanks for joining. It's a pleasure. And thank you, everybody.
Again, thank you, the czar of the video footage, my man AOH. You guys know the deal, man. Whenever we're on, you guys know we got the facts for you guys. So thanks everybody out there once again. Thank you.
And speaking of, I got to get back to editing, try and get that footage up without it getting